it going, guys? I'm here today with Kyle
Pantsis,
and we are here to talk about the future of
Saab value.
Yep, future of Saabs, future of their value, and you know, just give our opinions on it. And
we're lifers of Saab fans,
right?
And we've dropped the market quite a few times. So,
well, you probably more than me. You got more experience, but
nah, you got more Saabs than I do.
Well, I guess that's true. Before we go any further, you want to go ahead and talk about your channel?
Yeah, so guys, I'm approaching 1,000 subs, and I thought it was exciting to come out here and meet Jacob and talk Saab stuff, because I've been a Saab guy for the last 10-15 years of my young adult life. And my channel, I do a lot of car reviews, so I do some exotics, I do everyday cars, and of course I'll go ahead and do repair stuff. So I'll work on my own car, film it. A lot of my videos are Saab, Volvo stuff.
So just whatever you got to film.
Whatever I got to film.
Anything car related. Go ahead, check out his channel. I'll link it both at the top of the description, and also I'll put a card up here if YouTube will let me do that. And we also just filmed a video for his channel about my Turbo X. So I'll go ahead, another card up
link
here.
That.
One of these corners, always forget which one.
Side.
This one. Yeah. It's over here. It's always backwards.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly.
I've been following Jacob for 2 years now. About 2 years.
So he's, I'm surprised he's still around, to say the least.
What could I continue?
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't annoyed you. So let's talk Saab values.
Yes.
So, Saab obviously no longer makes cars.
Unfortunately. We all know that sad story.
Right.
That Saab story.
That Saab story. And I think anyone that's not an enthusiast sees a Saab and they think, I don't want to touch that thing. So,
yes and no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say
in
mostly,
general you're right.
Yeah.
In general you're right.
And that's why I've talked before about how Saabs are such like bang for your buck cars, because that's part of the reason why they're so cheap, is because Saab is out of business and people automatically assume I can't get parts, I can't do this, I can't do that with them, which is, as any Saab owner knows, completely wrong.
I mean, you're getting nice luxury, good quality. They're fast, they're smooth. If you're into modding cars, obviously you guys can. You can do.
There's not a huge aftermarket support for them, but if anything that you'd want to do, it's there, right?
Yeah, it's there, and you can get a tuner on it, no problem.
Right. I personally believe that Saabs like this one, and this like GM era Saabs, we'll say, so modern Saabs, are pretty much at the bottom of their value.
Yes.
They're kind of at the bottom of their depreciation curve. They're just sitting there, and none of them are old enough yet to start gaining value. But of course, there are Saabs before the GM era, like the classic 900,
SPGs.
some of which SPGs specifically that are climbing up in value now. So
You're right. I was shopping for a friend of mine. He's a big Saab 900 guy, turbo guy, early 90s, 89 to 91 era. That body style SPG.
Yeah.
And we were just having fun on the phone last year shopping, and I saw a yellow convertible. If anybody out there has saw that post about a year ago, that thing was selling for almost $30,000.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So the values are starting to jump on those old school ones, and what brought me to wanting to talk about this was about 2 weeks ago. I'm in New Jersey, guys, out here in Arizona visiting, but in Jersey, there was somebody that posted like a 2004 9.5 Aero. Beautiful car. It had 177,000 miles on it.
So pretty high mileage.
Very high miles. Fully loaded, and they were asking $1,800 for the car, which is dirt cheap.
I think that's a good deal.
It's a steal.
Yeah.
And another Saab guy that's local to me was like, we were like messing around. He's like, check out this car post. I was like, you should go and offer him like $2,200. So I already said to him that you can already see that the market's gonna rally, because if you find a good conditioned 04, 05, 9.5 Aero spec, they're at the bottom end of their prices.
Especially if you're looking at a manual, because the it's hard to find a 9.5 in stick.
And I would suggest, based on that thought, that in the next 10 years, guys, as these things age out, if you have one that's in good shape, keep it in good shape. And if you find one in good shape in the future, I mean, I really don't see why they don't increase in value. They're
well, they can't really go down anymore. So
that's true.
Yeah, in that sense. I would say that especially the Vigans. The Vigans seem
sweet.
I was also looking at Vigans around the time I was buying this car, like 8 months ago. I decided to get this car, of course, but the Vigan values at that time were almost as high as the Turbo X values, and since then I've gone back and looked a few times, and it seems like, oh, now you can get a good Vigan for under 5K. So it seems like the market of Vigan values, it fluctuates a lot.
Season.
Maybe it's a seasonal thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Summertime convertibles, things shoot up.
I think these more rare limited Saabs in particular, like the Turbo X, the SPG, the Vigan, even classic 900s, the 99 Turbo especially, even older Saabs than that, when well taken care of. I mean, you could get a rusted out, total garbage Saab 96 for like $2,000, right? But if you get one that's rust free somehow and in decent condition, I mean, it can probably go for 10K pretty easily.
Yeah, and that brings me to my next point. If you guys follow my channel or subscribe to my channel or have seen my channel, I have a 2002 9.3 convertible that I rebuilt in my driveway, and my long-term goal with this car is to keep it, obviously, and I kind of want to just do a complete rehab overhaul of the car, paint, rims, interior, everything, suspension, because right now you can still go ahead and buy a lot of OEM parts brand new. So it's a good time if you're into the car for a long time to go ahead and invest the money, because you don't know down the road what happens. And that also tells me that there's another generation of kids today that are young that are getting into their first cars that are Saabs because they're cheap, right?
Exactly.
And
yeah.
That's going to rally the market long term, because those guys that are getting into them now are starting to taste and understand the passion for Saab.
Right, and that's one point I was going to mention, is that generally with Saabs, the enthusiast base is, I mean, let's be real,
growing.
For one, I feel like it is growing in terms of social media presence, for sure.
And the demographic is changing too.
Right, the demographic is changing to much younger people because, I mean, let's be real, for the most part, Saab owners are generally a bit older, and not like old.
No,
but,
you know,
not to offend anyone, not to say that Saab enthusiasts are old, but a lot of, if you go to a Saab meet, a lot of people are generally like middle-aged.
You'll find that old school 90s dentist there that everybody always jokes about on Top Gear.
Yeah, exactly, or that architect. With this influx of younger people in the Saab, like myself, and a lot of Saab people that I've come to know, I feel like it's going to help prolong the life of Saab enthusiasts and Saab as a brand. And I think really the biggest thing that all this hinges on is parts availability. And I mean, you can get
there.
Yeah, it's there. I mean,
there's no problem.
eSaab parts, eEuro parts are just probably the two biggest in the United States, but of course there's other sites out there too. They're showing no signs of going anywhere. They're very strong.
And from there, there's aftermarket. So there's like Pro Parts and all these companies.
You've got companies like Krona, DO88, Brew City Boost, Maptune is another probably one of the biggest ones.
Stuff, guys.
They're all making aftermarket stuff for these cars. So I don't see them. I don't see parts availability being an issue in the next decade or maybe even 2 decades. I mean, obviously, as more time goes on, less cars are going to be on the road, but
that means those become parts.
Right, and they can become parts cars. So there you go. Using dead Saabs to keep other Saabs on the road.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's a sad thought, but what are you gonna do?
It's part of the circle of life, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these younger enthusiasts like myself that are getting into Saab, the reason that they're getting into Saab is because it's a cheap first car, or really the other big reason is because their parents have owned them or they've just grown up with Saabs. And that's the case for me, also the case for you.
For myself, yeah.
Do you want to talk about what got you into Saabs specifically?
Sure. The first 8 years of driving, guys, from 2007 to about 2015, I was driving a 2002 9.5. It was originally a linear spec, but as time went on, I've replaced the transmission on it, and of course I then went ahead and upgraded the turbo and all of the exhaust, and I had it tuned. So by the time I got rid of the car at 200,000 miles, it was running better at 200,000 miles versus when I took the car over from my parents at 75,000 miles. Very interesting life. I kept the car showroom perfect. I mean, it was spotless, paint exterior wise. You know, we had some dog leg rust, you know, traditional stuff, but I had it fixed, and the car was just perfect. And that passion started there, and I brought it into a new car that I have today, which is the 0293 convertible that I purchased and rebuilt. And you know, the confidence came from that 9.5 of tearing this thing apart in my driveway as a young teenager, learning how to work on this, get my hands dirty, and learned and understood the engineering behind Saabs.
Right.
Which is quirky, but it works.
It works, yeah.
Buy a Saab, guys. Don't be afraid of them. We love them.
Yeah, buy a Saab. So that's all that we've got for today, guys. I want to thank Kyle for coming out and
Thank you for having me.
Guest starring in this video.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Make sure to check out his channel as well as the video that we filmed for his channel.
Yep.
And that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see y'all next time.
One more thing. Follow me on Instagram, Kyle Pantsis.
Follow him on Instagram.
At Kyle Pantsis.
Follow me on Instagram at auto.autopsy.
There it is.
I'm almost at 3K.
That's pretty cool.
Check your body.